Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we slice through dense corporate filings so you don't have to. This time, we're tackling Willdan Group's latest 10K. I've got a hunch this report is going to be all about balancing, and you'll see what I mean in just a few minutes. So, what's the big picture? Willdan, which provides services to utilities and governments, just wrapped up its fiscal year and it's a mixed bag. While revenues are up, let's dive in to see where they're headed. Willdan helps organizations and their communities to deal with ever-changing needs in infrastructure and resources. They provide an array of services that range from technical for engineering and energy solutions to reducing greenhouse gases. They are also providing innovative ways to improve both efficiency and sustainability to communities. Willdan operates through two main segments: energy and engineering and consulting. The first focuses on energy efficiency and sustainability projects, and the latter takes the company's experience with engineering and public agencies and applying to various projects. Looking at their financial snapshot, we see a clear upward trend in revenue. They took in $565.8 million in fiscal year 2024, compared to $510.1 million the previous year and $429.1 million before that. But something to pay attention to is that gross profit as a percentage of revenue is only slightly up. It's a balancing act, increasing revenue while keeping costs in check. No 10K would be complete without the risk factors section. This part is never fun, but it's extremely important to understand what the company sees as potential threats to its business and can help investors make better long-term decisions. Willdan admits that things like delays in government action, weather conditions, or even just the unavailability of necessary materials can throw projects off course. This is a huge concern in government contracting and especially in the environmental engineering space, as I'm sure many projects rely on weather or government support. As primarily a professional services company, a big risk for Willdan is always being able to find and retain the right people. There's a lot of competition for engineers and management, so Willdan needs to be able to attract and retain employees, or it may not be able to fulfill its contracts. Debt is always a double-edged sword for public companies. On one hand, it can accelerate growth, but on the other, it can put extreme pressure on a company to pay down its commitments. Because a lot of Willdan's recent growth was through acquisitions, Willdan acknowledges its reliance on debt and the potential issues that arise from it. The energy sector is subject to many regulations depending on the state. As a result, Willdan acknowledges that any change to goals, mandates, or terms imposed by regulators could impact how profitable the contracts are. Switching gears, cybersecurity is a topic that always comes up, and that's for a good reason. Willdan acknowledges that, like most firms, it is subject to malicious cyber attacks, but it also feels that it has taken the appropriate safeguards and preventative measures against them. In terms of how the company manages cybersecurity, the board of directors get regular updates on threats and measures. There is a dedicated cybersecurity team, but since the most recent acquisition was omitted from the scope, it would seem that Willdan still has some work to do on its end. Willdan's headquarters are based in Anaheim, California. The company also leases office space spread across 49 locations across 22 states, Canada, the District of Columbia, and even Puerto Rico. From the filing, it appears that Willdan faces the usual claims and lawsuits that come with running an engineering and consulting business. Fortunately, their insurance appears to cover these potential liabilities. Looking at stock activity, the firm repurchased a small amount of shares that were related to the vesting of restricted stock during the last quarter. It doesn't appear that it made a material amount of any purchases during the year. During the last quarter, the company repurchased 3519 shares at an average price of $47.31 in order to offset tax liabilities. Geographically, Willdan is heavily concentrated in California and New York, accounting for 43.9% and 23.6% of consolidated contract revenue, respectively. If something goes wrong in either of those states, Willdan will certainly feel the shock. Looking into the business combinations section, we see that Willdan acquired Anika Engineering in October for about $16 million. Willdan hopes that by acquiring Anika, which is an energy company providing an array of consulting and metering services, will help the business with decarbonization and energy reduction. The estimated effect of this acquisition, pro forma revenue of $573.8 million. This just means, if Annika was included in the company earlier, this would have been the revenue and is not a reflection of revenue they have yet to earn. So what's my overall take? Willdan seems to be in a decent position with rising revenues. The company seems to be balancing growth with a very watchful eye on the potential risks that come along with it. While debt and external risk are always there, at this point it seems manageable. Willdan is trying to position itself well with the Annika acquisition. For now, it seems like it is well managed, just has to balance out key risks, the debt it relies on, and external mandates. That's all for this corporate decoder. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives. Are there any companies you would like us to cover? Let us know in the comments.